Good morning, friends. Today, let us start with chapter 4. Do you need to register? Do you need to register? The first criteria for registration is if you see on the chart, on the flow chart, did the turnover cross? The basic rule is that whether the turnover is crossed or not, that you have to check. If the turnover is not crossed, then the option for registration is voluntary. If the turnover has crossed, then you have to register it. So let us now understand the threshold limits. For goods, almost all the states, the threshold limit is 40 lakhs, except the category states. Special category states are the small states where the turnover is only 20 lakhs. And for services, most of the states, it is 20 lakhs the turnover. And in special category states, it's 10 lakhs. The special category states mostly refers to certain northeastern and hill states, which gets lower threshold to reflect smaller local economics. If you are not sure whether your state counts, it's worth a quick check on the GST portal. But for vast majority of readers in most of the India, 40 lakhs for goods and 20 lakhs for services, numbers are one that matters. Here you have to see the aggregate turnover means all the sales added up across the financial year, not your profit, not one product line, all of it, including any exempt sales. If you run a shop with 35 lakhs in taxable sales and 8 lakhs in exempt sales, your aggregate turnover is 43 lakhs, which crosses 40 lakhs threshold, even though the exempt portion itself carries no tax. What happens if you cross the threshold and do not register? This is not a maybe you will get away with it situation. Once you are legally required to register and you are operating outside the law, which can mean penalties, interest on unpaid tax calculated back to when you should have registered, and the real difficulty. If you ever need formalize the business later, getting business loans, working with large B2B clients who needs your GSTN and so on. Now let us understand the registering voluntarily before you have to. You can register voluntarily if your turnover is less than the threshold limits. The main reason may be your buyers want it. For example, you're dealing with various MNCs and your buyer wants your GST number, then better to register it than saying that it's not applicable. If you say it's not applicable because of your turnover, you may not get the business as they may think that whether your business is capable to serve them or not. The second reason is that if you want to sell on e-commerce platform like Amazon, Flipkart, then you should have GST registered. You want to claim your own input tax rate. If your business has a meaningful purchase with GST on them, being unregistered means you simply eat that cost, no credit available. you're planning to grow quickly. If you see yourself crossing the threshold within the next year anyway, registering early avoids a scalable later when you might not need to register at all. Certain businesses, certain suppliers are entirely exempt from GST regardless of the turnover. Fresh vegetables, for instance, or specific categories of educational and healthcare services. If your entire business falls into an exempt category, turnover does not trigger registration. The same way, this is a narrower situation than most readers will be in, but worth knowing it exists. A simple way to decide: ask yourself the three questions. Has my turnover crossed the threshold for my category? Do my business needs GST invoice for me to claim their own credit? Do I make meaningful GST bearing purchases, that is, like the credit for? If all these three answers are no, and you are nowhere near the threshold, there is a reasonable case for staying unregistered and enjoying the lighter paperwork for now. In short, registration is mandatory once your turnover crosses 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs, service in most states. But you can register voluntarily before that if your business and your buyers needs GST invoice from you, or if you want to claim input tax rate on your purchases. Before going to the chapter 5, what you understood: for registration, you have to take registration only if your aggregate turnover crosses 40 lakhs. Here, one point I want to make you clear: if you have businesses across India and all put together, you have to see, as it is PAN based, you have to check the turnover. For example, if your PAN is having the turnover more than 40 lakhs, then for goods, or 20 lakhs, then you have to take the GST registration. You cannot say that you're not having the turnover 40 lakhs in Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh. All put together, you have to see and then take the GST registration, as it cannot be specific to one state turnover. It is an aggregate turnover, so you have to understand it and take that registration. Thank you, and comment if you have not understood any concept of registration. Then we will be moving to the chapter 5 in the next video. Before that, comment, and if I get around 20 subscribers, then I'm going to give more tips and take it forward, as it is for you to spread this knowledge, as I have committed myself to give you and make you understand the GSA in the simple language, which I am trying it. Let us see the next episode. Thank you, and God bless you.